Hi, and welcome to 15. I'm Luke, and as always, I'm joined by Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
All very formal. We thought we'd set up the podcast a little bit more, so let me just quickly nip that in. And then you can do your little anecdotes for the week, because I'm sure you've got absolutely loads locked in the chamber. This is the podcast where we review the first 15 minutes of 3 films and then choose one to watch in full and review next week. That bit nicer, a bit more of a soundbite.
It is. We can sell that. Maybe we can finally get those advertisers, to finally back us. They didn't like my screaming my head off.
Absolutely no one know what it is. I'll make sure to. I was about to say to send it out again, but it didn't get any traction the first time. So
no, it didn't.
Any traction the second. So this week we went to Denberdale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like sort of like a quiet, sort of picturesque village.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, 1 minute. I'm in Rio. I'm just going to listen to my favorite podcast. They've gone to Denberdale.
It's the man. It's the screeching voice. Takes the piss out of advertisers. You must have seen it. It was viral. And we walked past, and there was these 2 kids sat in a garage, in like a really sort of posh suburb. It's quite a nice area.
Describe these kids. Are they?
One was walked those up the same age, probably about 8, 9, something like that.
One was shining his shoes.
Maybe a little older. And they were
from the Denberdale.
They were sat there, and they sat at a little table, and it looked like they were doing a yard sale. Anyway, we walked by, take comfort for a walk, go back to the car, pick up some change because we think we're going to go walk past them again.
Mm-hmm.
Start walking towards them, and I see the boy do this, which is the Catholic cross thing, for the listeners, which is
genuflect.
Basically every one of you. Oh, I didn't know that.
Genuflect.
Was it named after Jenny? And then, so
Underhill, yes.
We came up to them, and they said we were their first customers of the day.
And
it was like 2:30 on a Sunday.
They'd been there since 2.
No, honestly, I feel like they've been there for ages. So we get there, we've got like 4 quid in my pocket. I thought, oh, you know what? When I said that I'm giving them all this money.
Yeah.
Sit there. What you expect?
He whacks out a card machine. Take cards.
I'm expecting you're our first cash payer of the day. I'm
expecting 3 grand.
I'm expecting like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like an old cap and like I don't know, like a tennis ball.
It's not 20 years ago.
Or like stuff they found around the house, like in their parents' room, like a black mamba or like cigars or whatever. Anyway, get there, it's the crap, and it's marked up like ridiculous. Like, so we've walked over there with their first customer.
What
we have
crap?
to buy
like, what
something.
Is it?
Just stuff kids have, little toys, like a slinky sort of thing, and like I don't know, like just little shit. And it's like 8 quid. That stuff was like £8. I couldn't believe what I walked into.
Going to work out why he's not had any customers.
Well, and so we were stood there. Claudia goes, "I'll have that." Right, just says something because it's like the only thing not marked up. She went, "How much is that?" And he went, £1. And he was like, "All right, okay." So we took that off him. Got it.
What was it? What was it?
Like a ball, a squeezy ball, right?
Yeah.
We start walking away and stuff. So we spent £1. We bought something else for £1, so we gave him 2 quid.
What was the other thing you bought?
A little rainbow slinky thing. Because the girl had it, so we had to give £1 to each of them. Do you know what I mean? Boys' table, girls' table. And then Cody's walking away, and she goes, "Thinking about it, that wasn't marked up." I said, "Well, how did you see it then?" She went, "The dog was playing with it." We just quickly took something from the garage that wasn't marked up. The only thing that was reasonably priced, because he hadn't actually put any thought into it, and just went £1.
So that poor dog.
Poor dog. It was a lovely dog as well. Caught up with it. Right, Dan, last week. You gotta start listening to this shit, man.
They're crazy. They think you need from a dog.
We watched Point Break. Well, we chose to watch Point Break, and so we both did. We watched it last night.
The 1991. I worked out Keanu Reeves is 25 when he did that film.
Right. The Catherine Bigelow film.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Dan? Well, we had a bit of difficulty watching it, didn't we? Because I used Dan's Prime to watch this stuff, as I also use his Disney Plus and his Netflix. Mm-hmm. And You said we couldn't watch it at the same time, so you had to stay up late.
What's
to
that?
watch it.
Have I finished using the leech? No, I'm just talking to him now. But I'll give it over for bloodletting later. Oh, so sorry, didn't see you there.
I like it best when it's a character actor. What was I saying? Oh, so you had to stay up late, basically.
I did. I was up till midnight.
The wee hours. Do you have anything nice where you're doing your podcast?
The witching hours. Not the wee hours.
What, the wee hours of the morning? Like the early hours?
Oh.
The small hours?
No, but that's not... No. That's like 3 a.m. in the wee small hours of the morning.
Isn't that the time you're up to?
No, half 12. That's the witching hour, isn't it? 12 o'clock.
Fucking hell, I wish we could start this episode. Dan, so you watched a film.
Yes.
Point Break. What did you think?
The same film as you. So on second watching and actually watching it seriously, I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
I kind of got it. It was quite slick.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you got it. Sorry, you got it. Obviously, you're a laid back server, dude. You got it. Of course, you got it. What did you get?
I've written a whole thing, so why don't you let me do my thing? I don't think it relied too much.
This will be organic.
I used that word in there.
Yeah, go on. As a laid back surfer would. He only has organic.
I thought it just got on with the story. It didn't worry too much about exposition or anything like that. And I think it was a good action movie. I think the sequence... I'll just put my hand in front of my face. I thought the sequences...
We didn't notice.
Yeah. I thought the sequences were fantastic. I thought they were amazing.
Both sequences?
The action... Yeah.
All
skydiving.
Every single
all
sequence
the surfing. Yeah, the fights.
Yeah, the action
the chase. All of that. The Daredevil stuff. The violence. All of it. I thought that was done really handled really well, and also shot really well.
It was done handled.
It was done handled. Can't wait for yours.
I know I shouldn't have done that.
I thought Catherine Bigelow's direction was really strong, dynamic, and interesting.
Yeah,
I thought the villains as these ex-presidents, I thought they were very watchable. They moved really well.
Who were the presidents? I got one wrong, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't get Lyndon B. Johnson until he said LBJ.
LBJ was the one we didn't get.
But I got Nixon, Reagan, and Carter.
Oh, I thought we were going to have to just wait then for a few minutes for you.
And I can see why. So I recently watched Hot Fuzz, and obviously this and Bad Boys 2 feature quite heavily in that. And I can see why people
watched Point Break, Dan. I didn't watch Bad Boys 2.
I can see why Point Break is held in high esteem for that kind of movie. I think it can be. I think I can understand why it was iconic, and I thought Patrick Swayze was very good.
Right. Are you going to leave any words left for me to talk at any point during this?
Because
now.
And I thought Busey was good. Gary Busey was
JFK
good.
JFK wasn't in it, Dan.
He was. It wasn't. Despite being a loose cannon. But two things. I hated the ending, and Keanu Reeves did not do enough.
Right, with his face.
Just, generally.
He's awful, wasn't he? Right, okay. So, before I sort of give my little bit, let's talk. Okay, let's just give my little bit then, because you are just going to eviscerate me if I just start riffing here. Okay, so, I think the action sequences were nothing short of exhilarating. They were absolutely magnificent. They really were. Mm-hmm. But the script was a wash.
Just let him do it himself.
And sort of as the film,
a wash with what?
Like a washout, bad.
Not a wash.
That was my headline.
It was washed out.
No, it was a wash. No, a wash.
A wash with something. You say a wash with, don't you?
No, you can say a wash. It's like a derogatory term. Of course you can. Anyway, but then as the film sort of descended into its final act, well, not really.
No, they go halfway. They go up. They paddle up. They don't descend.
Halfway through, and it got sucked into this sort of riptide. Old school theme again there. Mm-hmm. The visceral highs and the visceral highs. I don't,
Captain Nemo. What do you mean?
I've written some puns there, by the way, for Sound of Metal when we get to that. The visceral highs and the cheap lows just got accentuated. Do you know what I mean?
What were the cheap lows?
Just the really cliched scenes, basically,
Such as
the ending. It throws his badge.
I hated the ending. I
And
hated it.
But overall, it was an interesting film, and despite it being just like flawed, like I think terribly flawed, actually, I think these flaws can be bypassed by the brain, and you can actually say it was an enjoyable experience. Do you know what I mean? It felt very generic, but
Your
also
camera's making a
weirdly,
lot, so no.
just.
No, as in you're wobbling it.
All right, thanks.
Because you're so. I think you're just a wash.
But you know what I mean? It felt very generic and singular at the same time. It did evoke that sort of guttural response to it, which I guess surfing does for surfers. That part was done very well, and Catherine Bigelow's actions were amazing. So the stuff she had control of,
she'd handled well.
Yeah, very well. But I think the screenplay was appalling, and I don't think she had the choice of casting. Obviously, that would have been thrown upon her. I think that was very poor as well.
I felt Keanu Reeves, I think all of them, I think the movement in this film is really great. Keanu Reeves moves very well, but he just didn't.
Apart from his face.
Yeah, he just didn't get anywhere near the depth. There was one scene where he was laughing and talking to Tyler, you know, the girl, Tyler. He was like joking around with her or something. And it felt quite natural. And I was like, okay, you're actually doing, and then just afterwards.
No, I think that was just natural though. Like the only natural part was when he was kissing her. There was one bit where it was quite a playful kiss and he had to leave. Yeah. And that was the only natural part.
That's the scene I'm talking about. Yeah.
But it's just because it was a guy kissing a girl and he was just kissing someone. That's why it was natural. It wasn't any acting going on there.
Maybe, yeah.
But he was just so monotone. And I think, I literally believe because he was so monotone, they had to put needless exposition in. Do you know what I mean? He kept explaining what he should just be showing on his face.
Yeah.
Like that bit when he's like, they need to find out a little bit more about Tyler. It's like, I need to find a way in. And he says, her parents, and he goes, that'll do. It's like, what is this? It started poor. About 50 minutes in, it gets better because it just sort of just throws itself. Do you know what I mean?
Gary Busey was amazing.
It stands up on the board, Dan. Halfway in, it jumps up on the board, and then it's at the mercy of the waves.
It pops. I think that you pop on it, don't you?
Yeah,
Gary Busey, when he was running to help Keanu Reeves' character, Johnny Utah, getting beaten up, and then Brody, Patrick Swayze, saves him, and he came to the top of the stairs. That bit was genius acting. Has anyone seen a dog?
It keeps going back there, doesn't it? Later on, where's my dog? Did you catch? Yeah, that will be annoying on the mics. Did you catch his surname?
Who? Angelo Bellotti.
Papas.
Oh, who's Angelo Bellotti?
There's a footballer called Bellotti. Andrea. Anyway.
Maybe I'm thinking that. The thing about the ending, because I vented a little bit, was I feel it just completely did a disservice to the entire film and the moral of it. Because
I think it fitted the film perfectly, that cliched ending.
No, I think it would have really elevated the film if he'd arrested him, because there was a line when they were they've got Tyler and they're in the plane and he's been shot. The guy's bleeding out and he's just about to jump, and he says, "Your body's going cold from the blood leaking out of it." People have been basically saying your actions have consequences, and he says, "What are you going to do? You could never run from this. They're going to hunt you down. Three people are dead, a cop's dead, you know, all this." And I think that's kind of the point, and Patrick Swayze did it really well in that he completely showed up the hypocrisy of Brody's character, that it's all spiritual, man, and throwing down democracy and, you know, sticking it to the man. But I never do any violence. You know, I've got people for that. I'm just a thinker. And then he kills people. He kills, 3 people. And so it shows his hypocrisy. And for Keanu Reeves' character to let him go out on the waves, it would have been so much.
I thought you got it though, Dan. The point was that they're all surfers and they had to catch that wave. That's the whole point of it.
But if he denied him his dream because of as a response to his actions, as a consequence of his actions, that shows growth in his character, because Keanu Reeves' character was totally besotted by Brody throughout the whole film, and yet at the end,
that's the interesting part.
He's not. He shouldn't be, but he just reverts back to it and lets him do it, and it just was like, what? And then it throws the badge away and all that.
Well, that's it. This very rigid romance that was there with Tyler felt nothing compared to this sort of frisson, like with homoerotic romance with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
And he is beautiful, right?
Oh, he's very handsome in this film, Patrick Swayze.
In Dirty Dancing, I find him a bit weird because she's so young and he's older, and I'm a bit like, nah, I don't get it. In this, I'm like, shag me.
He's very. All the women like Swayze, and I didn't understand why, but no, he's very handsome. He's very, very handsome. No, it just felt the parts when it got good were that, it was like Departed moments. Where it's the infiltrator, but it's like a bra version of the Departed. Those little bits, that's quite good. But then the fact that he was so bad at his job that it was like an hour in. Careful spoilers here, but when he sort of works out who the bank robbers are, and he stood there by the beach, like, watching them, and everyone else who's watched this has known this for like 45 minutes. That bit was infuriating. That bit, and also the whole part of the film was a little bit sullied because I wasn't quite watching it because it was like 50 minutes in or so, and Claudia, with her encyclopedic Friends knowledge, spots someone, and she went, that person's in Friends, right? And I was like, well, that person's in Friends, and she went, yeah, he's in one episode and he dates Phoebe. And I'm like, this is like from 10 years before that episode of Friends. So I'm like, no, you're stupid, you're wrong. And she bet a massage, and of course it was. And it's the Roach guy who's in it all the way through. The guy that's the final guy in the parachute, and he just chucks him out, he's dead, and he just splats on the ground. And he gives him the money.
I was thinking, when Keanu Reeves jumps out after him, no spoilers, why did he not go for that body?
I don't know why he didn't do that one. Yeah. He's just drawn to Patrick Swayze, wasn't he?
Yeah. I want to hug you. I want to fight you in the air. But that was amazing.
I want to bite you in the ass.
Do you think it was? This is a stupid question. I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to ask it. I've said it now. Do you think it was them? Or is that stupid?
Do I think it was mental that you went shag me about Patrick Swayze? Yes. Is that your question?
Yeah, it would do. Moving on.
Also, the music on the credits. It's like some horrible crap rock music. I just like turn that off.
For the credits.
No, it's like the first shot. It's like the beat comes in just as it's sort of fading out. It's like him looking out because he throws his badge away because he wants to go surf or something. I don't really know why. Oh, also, I've been to that place. Do you know where that last scene was?
What?
I went there.
Torquay.
It's on the
Beach.
It's on the Great Ocean Road at South Australia.
You could point to where it is on which part of Australia on your handy map. There you go. And if you go all the way to the other side and point to Rio.
Okay, so that was that. Should we give some scores out of 10?
I gave it a 7. I give it a 7.
Yeah. I feel mentally like I might actually also give it a 7. I think that's just insane. Why would I give that a 7? No, let's give it
because it was a good film.
It's watchable.
It was very watchable and it was enjoyable, and the sequences are amazing. Really are good. But he and the end just bad for me.
What did you think of the female character throughout?
Tyler.
The melodramatic.
I thought she had great autonomy. That's a good word, isn't it? Great autonomy until she got captured. No, and then when she got captured and was let out and was running in like a white nightgown.
She reminded me of the woman in The Shining, the horrible over-the-top actress in that.
I was like, you've just ruined her character. She's now just she's
damsel in distress. Yeah.
Yeah, from being, a really interesting and
what's that? We'll get to this. Wait down, have a drink. Interesting and was that actually
dynamic character?
He loves
edgy.
He loves to finish on a sip. That's how he does it.
On a sip.
As Patrick Swayze knows. Okay, so Dan, 3 films this week. You've chosen them. You've chosen some really good ones as well. So let's get to the first one.
Yeah. So we're looking at reviewing one of these next week, correct?
Yeah, we've got to choose one for next week. We watched the first 15 minutes.
I know which one it was going to be already.
Yeah, pretty much. Me too.
The last one.
Come on. That joke doesn't work for anyone. Hey, come
Good
on.
point. So the first film
Only works for me, and I knew you were going to do it, and I was trying to hurry you along so you didn't. Right.
Do you want me to read the things?
No, I want you to just name the film. I was trying to give you a part of this podcast. So I said,
Okay.
Dad, what is the film?
Heat.
Thank you.
Not
okay,
the Sandra Bullock.
Me
and
again.
Melissa McCarthy. One.
You can't spell Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, wait.
Diabetes. Okay, so Heat, Dan.
What year did it come out?
It's in the 90s. Is it that? Yeah. Must be.
I know which year. I know what it is.
Yeah, it is. I always know that when I Google it as well. Right.
No, I Googled it earlier before. I didn't know before. 95.
95. I would have said
Yeah,
that.
you were born.
I said that.
Hot year.
Right. So, first things first, this is a very cool film. It's
Very
quite
cool.
bad that we both haven't watched this. I've had it
Very
recommended
bad.
to me like loads.
Same.
I thought you were going to say by you then. I was trying to make him think of someone like masseuse or something. He will not shut up about deep heat. And you start. Tell me about this film. What did you think? Oh, we thought we were going to be so much more professional on this one.
I'm trying to think of a joke.
Sorry, I am not
I'm trying to think of the
recovered
joke
from
that
you
my
saying.
masseur-
Sorry, I'm not recovered from you saying shag me. You're right, this way. That's absolutely thrown me off kilter.
I was
Right.
trying to think of a joke to do with what my masseur would recommend,
Yeah, go on.
and it was going to really camp one, like
something to do with war dogs.
Three Men
Save
in
it
a
for
Boat.
war dogs.
3 men in a boat.
What?
It's a gay joke. We're very warm.
Okay.
Boiling.
Right, must be the heat.
Heat. Really nice cinematography. Let's start with that.
Mm.
And let's not clap all the way through what I just spoke.
Mhm.
Really nice cinematography. Just in the credits, the opening credits.
Dan, what I like about you is you highlight your own mistakes. You're the first to put your hands up. My hands in front of the mouth. I'm clapping my hands. I just did that. Shouldn't have done that.
Singer, singer, singer.
So great cinematography. Now,
Great cinematography.
I didn't write so much here, so let me just get some of my stuff out. Dan, this is like cat versus mouse, but they're both cats. It's quite literally Tom and Tom. You like that? Like Tom and Jerry, but Tom
Yeah, I
and Tom.
got it.
That's pretty good, isn't it? I don't think they're both like cats. They're both stalking. Okay, it's other stuff like that as well. Barely any
Who?
dialogue.
Who was stalking who?
No, they're just stalking
All right.
where they walk.
For those who are listening, I just mind being a stalk.
Ow, we're trying to shoot, please. Who's giving him stilts?
Stalking here.
That was good. That was a good joke. So, no, do you know what I mean? Like they sort of prowling. They sort of
Yes.
You know what I
Feline in
mean?
that predatory. Yes.
no,
yes.
not feline. Makes it sound gay as fuck.
Give us your money.
Right. Anyway, what I was trying to say is very, very little dialogue because these characters feel authentic. Do you know what I mean? They're
They
authentic.
do, yeah.
They are no nonsense people. They aren't raconteurs. They're not there for like quick quips or, you know, like eloquent speech. Not Oscar Wilde out here. They're gangsters. They're motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean? They are though. Like their actions is what speaks for them. And there's no need, like they'll bollock people and then they'll direct people and then that is it.
Yeah.
And that just felt fantastic.
2 words that I put next to each other were lean, which I think is sort of part of what you're saying. It's incredibly lean.
Yeah, it
feels
is. There's no fat on it.
No, and also fluid. It moves. It's quick.
Mhm.
It's there's no jerky moments. There's no stop the start. It's just one. It felt reminiscent of two films, Drive and Hell or High Water, in those really dynamic openings where, you know, it's moving, and I think it helps because it's heist and it's cars and there's stuff going on, but it felt slick. Maybe that's
I've never seen a set piece, which the first 15 minutes has a really big set piece where a massive truck basically smashes into an armored vehicle that's usually like carrying money, but it's usually in this case it's carrying documents. I've never seen one of those fit in so seamlessly into the opening 15 minutes, and you sort of don't realize that's a set piece until it's finished. You went, well, that was massive. That was an insane few days filming for that. And I thought that the whole thing is exquisite filmmaking. It feels really so tense. Modern as well. It feels incredibly. It feels incredibly modern. This film could have come, apart from the fact that Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are slightly less leathery and tanned.
Robert De Niro aged badly in the last 30 years, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Geff is back. He's all right.
No, I feel
he looked old. He looked old in that film, though.
Didn't look as old as he's looked previously.
Yeah. Okay.
The aging process. Anything else, folks?
Yeah.
I put it was great, tense, very tense the whole way through, but in like an exciting way. You know, I wasn't.
I didn't think they were going to get caught at any point.
No, I did think he was going to get shot. The other guy, though.
But I was worried for everyone they were going to encounter. Basically, when we're talking about we're talking about the crew here that put together this heist. I was worried for whoever's going to get in their way, because these are like pile drivers. They'll just smash right through you. Patrick Swayze. That's you. And also, it went so fast. I know this is not that particularly relevant to other people, but for us watching 15 minutes, right? You can, if you think something's 8 minutes and it's like 14, that's an enormous difference. As we'll get into later, we almost basically finished. It was like 6 minutes of the way through. It's usually not a great sign. So Dan, I take it you want to watch this?
Yeah, definitely. Also, I think it would feel quite nice compared to what we've just reviewed, obviously in Point Break, in the similar time period.
Mm-hmm.
Not on
action films.
Action films. I was going to say similar themes, but I'm not sure this is a buddy cop movie. But yeah.
What? Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Yeah, I get that.
Point Break.
But I thought you meant Point Break was a buddy cop movie then. If you want buddy cop movies, there's also a film called Heat with Melissa McCarthy.
Wait, that's not what is that not what we were watching?
Yeah, she's there. She's always in the sky. She could play any of them.
Al Pacino.
She went into the background. Should we talk about Al Pacino's sex scene?
You were repulsed.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was like watching I had to go to one of these before, so it didn't go down so well. It was
like watching a 45-year-old man have sex. That's what it was like.
It's like watching a tortoise eat a slipper or something. It was just horrible. It was just horrible.
Said eagle eat a tortoise before.
I said elegant.
Did you mean stork?
Very good. Right. So we want to watch this.
Yeah. But a contender appears. A contender appears. What these guys are so crazy. The Sound of Metal.
Uh-huh.
Oscar nominated. Oscar winning.
What did he win? Did he win?
Didn't it win something?
I think that maybe it won sound. Something to do with sound mixing. Probably did win something with sound.
Do you think we should know that as a film podcast?
No. I'm not even sure there is an Oscar for sound.
Next you'll be telling me there's an Oscar for animation.
So Riz Ahmed plays a drummer who's definitely in trouble. But he plays it very well, and I won't hear anything bad said about him.
Yeah. He silenced all the critics.
That's good.
I heard filming was a real slog. He could only eat things out of tin.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you throw me off mine. I had one. Fuck. Oh, I forgot. It's gone now. Wasn't a tone deaf performance.
Oh. Shoehorned that in. He had no feet.
So he plays a drummer and he's losing his hearing. And it's sad.
Yes. Especially for you, right? Because this really hit you on a personal level.
It did. It's opened a lot of wounds. How many drinks have I had? That time I paid my tab. I have got tinnitus.
Apparently.
Sorry, Dan. What was that?
The deafening sound.
Dan, can you stop making a high-pitched frequency?
You can't hear it.
I actually have, but Dan doesn't believe me because
You not believe him.
Fine. Right. What was interesting about this was the soundscape.
Sorry, just completely below Brazil. There's like the bit sticking up.
Right, Antarctica.
Is that part of Antarctica?
Well, what else is it?
I didn't know Antarctica. That bit
Why?
that's point.
Why is
No,
there
on above your hand? Raise
why
your hand
is
up.
there a fucking mirror behind 7 millimeter of finger reflection?
That big pointy bit is that.
Well,
Is
what
Antarctica.
else? What else could it be?
Well, I didn't know. I knew the bit to the right of it was Antarctica.
Well, someone give this man a medal.
No, it's just interesting. I've never seen that before.
Okay, so let's give
Ahmed.
Right, we know we're going to watch Heat, but let's give Sound of Metal a fair shake,
Yeah.
as you will with Patrick. So all the man show is exaggerated because it's playing on the importance that sound has in his life.
Yeah.
And then also when we start to see him lose his hearing, it replays these moments and sound is now gone. What I really quite liked is, for me, it felt quite a lot like Andrea Arnold's American Honey, which amazing film. Was in my top 15 list. Me and Dad did a top 15 list of the top teens. What we call in the last decade, whatever the last decade was.
Yeah, teens.
And it felt like that in terms of just the way it felt and moved and its relationships of its characters. It felt very similar. The
way it was visualizing sound, that part of it, or just the whole kind of feel of it?
No, just the feel, especially in the RV. It's a road movie. American Honey, it felt very similar in that respect. And what I loved,
RV as well.
What I loved about the RV scenes is they take us out of the RV all the time, because that's where the sounds are much more complex and much more noisy and clattering together, because it's trying to enhance this soundscape, because we know very much soon it's gone, and that will create more of a juxtaposition for us to really notice it, which I thought was fantastic. The sound was amazing.
Yeah, it was. And it was clever, wasn't it, in how in just that 15 minutes it moved you. It was uncomfortable the whole way through, but it was quite
it was horrible to watch, actually.
Even the softer bits, it opens with a really audibly horrible thing, but then moves into, I put it was very good at setting tone and themes in a quite a conspicuous way, but subtle at the same time. I get it, there's some horrible imagery. There's some horrible. It didn't lose that uncomfortableness, and yet we've moved from a rave to a morning after to a this to that. Every scene had a very sort of uncomfortable undercurrent, I guess, mirroring what it would be like to lose your hearing in that way.
And I thought it was going to make us wait longer until we really saw the effects of his hearings deteriorate. That came in at around 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
so we got
really
5
quick.
minutes to really see it affect him. And what I loved here, which Keanu Reeves could pick up a bit of, he didn't describe it at all. He never described how he was feeling. He never had to describe what happened to his ears.
Got it.
We didn't have to hear any of that. We just had to see it. And it's a classic case of show me, don't tell me, which is like rule 101. And that's exactly what it did. Yeah.
No.
That was very, very good.
I can see why it garnered so much attention. And I think, we were going to watch it. It's good though,
because it felt independent, didn't it? It felt like an independent film, how it should feel. All films are well shot nowadays, so it kind of goes out the window. Like you watch Netflix, they're horrible films. I mean, they're not very well shot. They're just incredible. They're good camera.
But the camera quality, that's so good. Yeah.
Is basically what's now ubiquitous everywhere. But this kept everything quite close. Did you also notice something else, which what was quite noteworthy? Every time we had his hearing or him in the scene, his ears were at the center of the screen. They were framed, so his ears would be at the center, which I thought was really quite nice.
No, that is nice.
I'm also just making that up, but I'm pretty sure I saw that like quite a good amount of times.
Yeah. No, I believe you would.
which I liked. And then the relationship, we didn't also have to see too much of that. Like, you don't have to see these big grand gestures. You have to just show little small moments where people.
I was going to say the minutiae will speak far louder in that situation, because it's a point of reference, isn't it? Right? Not everybody's done the whole bouquet of flowers or whatever it is, but most people have probably woken their girlfriend up.
Yeah. Or just these little brief moments to show why people love each other, and just capture those, and then that's it. You don't have to spell it out to us. We've got the characters there. And saying that, it's probably a nice time to move over to the last film, in terms of films where you're desperately trying to tell the audience how to feel about a character.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is this last film?
Oh, fucking hell. So the last film is War Dogs.
Yeah. Luke asked me, I was choosing 3 films. I saw Sound of Metal. Yeah, wanted to watch that. Heat was there, recommended after Point Break. Great, love it. And then he says, oh, let's watch a comedy. And War Dogs is recommended to me. And you said the words, oh, I wanted to watch that, but didn't, because the reviews were bad.
Yeah, it's one of those where the trailer
Let's add to that.
Yeah. For A Hat in the Ring. So it felt to me very wannabe Wolf of Wall Street. You know, where on Wolf of Wall Street they play Black Skinner by Kanye on the trailer, and that sort of caustic energy follows all the way through the film, like these big debauch scenes and stuff. That toned down was kind of, I felt, very similar energy that was going through War Dogs.
Do you reckon
it just thinks it's cooler than it is? This was not cool. This was fucking lame. Do
you reckon Jonah Hill told everybody on the set that he was in Wolf of Wall Street?
He's amazing, Wolf of Wall Street.
He is very good.
Do you want to have
he was the best thing in this as well.
Oh, he's really good. He's great. I mean, I'm not sure he was great. I've not seen enough of him to say he's too good in this. He looked like he was.
You didn't see enough of him. A lot of him.
Do you want to have a guess at who was meant to play these 2 roles before these 2 signed on?
Yes.
One of them you could see in it, and one of them I was like, well, why the fuck would he be in this film?
I would guess Channing Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
And
is he the one you'd expect?
Simon Pegg.
So, I don't think Hollywood producers see Simon Pegg how we see him. They don't have the same rose-tinted spectacles. So Shia LaBeouf, fine, fantastic actor. I could definitely see that. Secondly, Jesse Eisenberg. I
literally went through Jesse Eisenberg. So who was Jesse Eisenberg going to play?
Oh, hang on. Does anyone want to buy a gun? Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg's the other one.
Is Jesse Eisenberg?
He'd have been Miles Teller's character, obviously. Clearly.
Jesse Eisenberg is in Zombieland, no? Or yes?
Yeah, the guy from The Social Network.
Yeah. Who's the other one that everybody, and including me, gets confused with Jesse Eisenberg?
Michael Cera.
Yes.
The guy from Arrested Development.
Super bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Juno and stuff. Right. Anyway, should we get on to this? Yeah. No,
loud, obnoxious.
Yeah. I put noisy.
Third word I use. Preachy. I put question mark.
I mean, I quite liked its politics. I think that could be the only thing I quite enjoy, where it's really just opening a more interesting discussion about war in America, other than just, oh my God, they're doing it for their country, they're amazing. Actually, a little bit more interesting to say, they have absolutely no idea what they're fighting for. I
kind of thought the opposite, in as much as I wrote, what's the point of this film? Who's it aimed at? And what is it trying to say? Who's it speaking to? Because
that's very good of who is it aimed at.
Because me and you already know the things that it's saying, and there'll be a demographic like us who are educated and read up on things, so are aware that, maybe wars aren't all patriotism, there might be ulterior motives. And then there's this subsect, especially in America, of idiots who think guns are good and war is great and God bless America, who will hate this film. So who's this film talking to? Is it them? But they're just going to hate it. They're going to switch off.
Yeah.
That would be my...
No, that's a good point. Should we get him on? Should we get director on next week?
Yeah.
No, so what I picked up on here was a lot of films allow you to discover characters.
Yeah.
And because they don't have to vomit at the character's personality in the first 5 minutes through very, very annoying first-person narration. They
Very
can then
annoying.
allow, because the character can develop, it means their character is a bit more three-dimensional. Do you know what I mean? So the changes aren't just obvious what's going to happen to the character.
Mhm.
They can be a bit different. But this just so reminded me of, that horrendous advertising when it's like, this is Steve. Steve's 35. Steve's not happy with his guttering. Or whatever, I don't know. Where guttering came from.
I don't want to know about Steve now.
Do you know what I mean?
I was going to fix his guttering.
They're just trying to encapsulate a character straight away. And they're trying to make him cool and likable. He just smokes weed and he just doesn't give a shit, man. You know what I mean? He's just one of these guys. He's just like you. He's just like you lads out there. But he can make money. Like you guys want to make money.
Well, that was the.
And he was just obnoxious, like you say. He was so obnoxious. The lead character.
I put drugs, guns are good and are cool. Is that's sort of what it was portraying?
I mean, they
right?
are cool. Let's get one thing straight then. Drugs and guns are cool.
But it felt like this on that advertising front, if you like. It felt like gun companies had gone make a film that teaches people that drugs and guns are cool, so that they don't hate our movie, don't hate our industry.
I've got a vivid memory of when you're like 10 or 11, and your parents sort of just forget one night to put you to bed. It's like a Saturday, and I remember BBC.
Did that happen a lot, Luke?
BBC had like a film just rolling over, like films that would just start at like 10:15 and finish at midnight, midnight, whatever.
Classic.
And it was a Nicolas Cage arms dealer film, and it starts so similar to this one. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's
Nicolas Cage. I was a national treasure.
Is he all right?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you regretting not practicing that voice before just thinking I can do that?
Yeah. I don't really. It's not. I
can do Michael Caine, so I can do any of them. She was only 16 or 15, whatever.
She was only 15.
Right. Have you got anything else? Oh, that's something I've thought about this film. This is like, annoying frat boys that usually in every American comedy.
Yeah, brah.
Exactly. Look, we haven't had to encounter. It's like it's like. It's like those characters, now having to watch them, and they haven't developed. They've already peaked. These characters have already peaked. I'm now just watching them in like horrible situations. It's like, why is this appealing? Who is this appealing to? And you know what I think? Who is the audience? I'm like, who is the audience? Something I really discern.
Hit your camera anymore?
Anyway, far too many words, far too noisy. Obnoxious characters. Just everyone just settle down, calm down, take some annoying scenes out. Like, what was some weird? You picked
their whole 15 minutes could have been done in about a 5-minute snappy montage with no exposition. We would have got
it. Tell us about the scene. You didn't like the scene in the old people's home, did you?
Didn't I? Oh yeah. Well, what was it? Did it think it was funny?
Well, tell the audience.
It felt like it was trying to make jokes.
So tell the audience a little bit about the scene.
So he's told us that he's invested everything he's earned ever because he's fallen out with his parents and he's gone for broke and he's trying to sell
drums,
high end. It's Shazam. High end. Oh, your dog's back. Stayed in that room, did he?
Down, boy.
You told him. He's decided to sell cashmere or whatever it is, high-end linen to old people's homes.
That would not be nice to sleep on.
Well, that's weird and zany and boppy. Oh, let's watch him. Oh, my cousin's playing Don't Fear the Reaper by Oyster Cult. Don't fear the Reaper. Do you want to buy it?
Honestly, Tom.
No. Do you want to know what old people are like? It's like lizards. It would be like wrapping a lizard in cashmere.
So you're trying to tell me that wasn't funny?
Where's the joke?
No, it was bad, wasn't it?
This is shite.
I feel like it's a lot of people.
I'm not going to buy it. That's my cousin.
It felt like a half-baked script that they thought, it'll be fine on the day. We've got Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. That'll be fine. And then they thought, actually, wait a minute, this is crap. It's fine. We'll do some first person. That's really cool. This guy's going to be. They want to be him. They want to be mates with him. They just want to be mates with this quite annoying guy and his big fat tanned mate.
Or do you think that's an interesting question? Do you think they worked backwards from Jonah Hill's character? We've got an arms dealer. He's big. He's fat. He's kind of like a Tony from Simpsons.
Soprano.
Oh,
Fat Tony.
Fat Tony. Okay, and he can be Jewish because he gets the money. And there's the whole Jewish mob thing, and it's Jonah Hill. But how do we talk about this cool character that we're going to create, who fires machine guns at guys who steal his money for drugs, and he doesn't even care about? We need Miles Teller to play that role.
I think the issue was everything felt a little bit rushed because I think they had to get all the scenes in before lunch because they knew Jonah Hill wouldn't show up after it. Right. Anyway, that was poor. I'm not going to watch that film.
Nor am I.
That was actually a film I'd quite nicely avoided until now. I was slightly seduced by the trailer many years ago, and then I just saw very poor reviews and I thought, oh, something's up here. And then someone reviewed it to me.
You're always slightly seduced, aren't you? Not like me and Patrick.
So we're watching Heat for next week then, which should be good. Where do you think it's going to go? It's going to be like cat and mouse, isn't it? But both of them are cats.
So kind of like Tom and Tom. Oh, it's funny because they did a throwback.
Okay, right. We're back next week with Heat.
Watch it and then review along with us next week. Why not?
Fantastic. Great idea, Dan. Yeah, why don't you guys watch it? But obviously, you guys are all film buffs, so you should have seen it. It really should not be a...
But watch it again.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
See you later. Bye-bye. Oh, let's do that bye again. Oh, we can't. On myself, I was going to do bye and then stay there and then move. I always go bye. It's off. Okay. Bye-bye.